If you put the DJI Mini 5 Pro and the DJI Air 3S side by side, you might think they don't belong in the same conversation. One looks like a tiny toy that can fit in your palm. The other looks like a professional machine built for heavy work. Traditionally, these drones represent two very different levels in the DJI family. The Mini series is for beginners or casual travelers. The Air series is for people who want more power and better features. However, things are changing. Once you take them into the sky, the line between them starts to get very blurry. The Mini 5 Pro is doing things that small drones were never supposed to do. Meanwhile, the Air 3S is facing a lot of pressure from its smaller sibling. This isn't just about which drone is better on a spec sheet. It is about which one makes sense for your actual life. We need to look past the marketing and see how they feel when you are actually flying them. Price is the best place to start our journey. It sets the stage for everything else. If you look at the base kits, the Mini 5 Pro is much cheaper. It is about $260 less than the Air 3S. That is a lot of money to save right away. But most people don't just buy the base drone. They want the Fly More combo. They want the extra batteries and the fancy RC2 controller with the built-in screen. When you compare those packages, the price gap gets even wider. It can grow to more than $350. For many people, that price difference is enough to end the debate. You could use that extra money for travel or accessories. The Mini 5 Pro is not cutting corners to get to that price. It offers a lot of high-end features for much less money. This puts a lot of pressure on the Air 3S. It has to prove that it is worth that extra cost. Now, let's talk about the physical side of things. The difference in size is massive. The Mini 5 Pro is designed to stay around the 250-gram mark. This is a magic number in the drone world. In many places, it means you don't have to follow strict rules. You don't always have to register it. You can fly it in more places with fewer headaches. However, there is a small detail you should know. Some units of the Mini 5 Pro weigh slightly more than 250 grams. Some have been measured at around 251 grams. This means it might not always benefit from the sub-250 rules in every single country. But even if we ignore the rules, the size still matters. The Mini 5 Pro is so easy to carry. You can throw it in a small bag. You can even put it in a large jacket pocket. It is ready to go in seconds. The Air 3S is a different story. It weighs about 724 grams. That is nearly 3 times heavier than the Mini. It takes up much more space in your backpack. You really have to plan to take the Air 3S with you. The Mini is the drone you take just in case. Because the Mini is small, it is also very quiet. It doesn't draw a lot of attention. People often don't even notice it is there. This is a huge advantage if you like to fly in public places. The Air 3S is much more obvious. It has a deeper, louder sound. When you launch the Air 3S, everyone around you will look up. If you want to stay low profile, the Mini 5 Pro wins every time. It is the king of convenience. It is the drone that is always with you. And as any photographer will tell you, the best camera is the one you actually have with you. Many people expect the Air 3S to be way better when it comes to the camera. They think the bigger drone must have a better lens. But that is not actually true for the main camera. Both of these drones use a 1-inch sensor. This is a big deal for the Mini. Having a 1-inch sensor in such a small body is incredible. Both drones have a 24mm wide lens. When you look at the footage from the main cameras, they look almost identical. They both have great dynamic range. They both handle low light very well. They both use DJI's professional color profiles. If you shoot a sunset with both drones, you will struggle to tell them apart. The colors are the same. The sharpness is the same. For standard wide shots, the Mini 5 Pro is just as good as the more expensive Air 3S. This is a major win for the smaller drone. The real difference starts when you want to zoom in. The Air 3S has a secret weapon. It has a second camera. This is a true 3x telephoto lens. It is like having a 70mm lens in the sky. This second lens changes how you can tell stories. It allows for optical compression. This means it makes the background look closer to the subject. It creates a very professional, cinematic look. It also lets you stay far away from your subject while still getting a close-up shot. This is great for filming wildlife or people without bothering them. The Mini 5 Pro does not have a second lens. It only has one camera. DJI tried to help the Mini 5 Pro with a special crop mode. Since it has a high-resolution sensor, it can zoom in 2x without losing too much quality. To be fair, this 2x zoom looks very good. It is much better than the digital zoom on older drones. It is clean and sharp enough for most social media posts. But it is still not a real telephoto lens. It doesn't give you that same background compression. It stops at 2x zoom, while the Air 3S can go much further with its dedicated glass. If you love zooming in or getting those tight, cinematic shots, the Air 3S has a clear advantage. We also have to look at how these drones handle action. Both can do slow motion. They both shoot 4K video at 120 frames per second. This makes movement look very smooth. But there is a catch. The Mini 5 Pro can only do this on its one main camera. The Air 3S can do 120 frames per second on both its wide camera and its telephoto camera. This gives you a lot more creative freedom. Imagine filming a mountain biker. With the Air 3S, you can get a wide slow-motion shot and then a tight, zoomed-in slow-motion shot. The Mini is more limited here. Social media is a huge part of flying drones today. Everyone wants to post to TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts. This is where the Mini 5 Pro becomes a superstar. It has a special gimbal that can actually rotate. The camera physically turns 90 degrees. This means it shoots true vertical video. It uses the whole sensor to give you the highest quality possible. You don't have to crop your video and lose quality later. The Air 3S cannot do this. Its camera is stuck in a horizontal position. If you want vertical video on the Air 3S, the drone has to crop the sides of the image. This leaves you with a 2.7K file instead of a full 4K file. It also makes it harder to frame your shots. For anyone who makes content for their phone, the Mini 5 Pro is simply in a different league. It was built for the modern creator.